Hi, everybody. Welcome to WikiRealty. I have a very special guest, Scott Thistle, president of Harbor Homes, who's joining us today. Welcome, Scott.
Yeah, thanks, Ruben. Glad to be here. Super excited about it.
Do you mind giving us a tidbit of your background and your story and how you got into the real estate and development industry?
Yeah, sure. That's a long story, but we'll keep it short. But the short story is, interestingly enough, I started working for a home builder when I was in high school, just kind of cleaning up job sites, and then eventually they let me hold a hammer and a saw and let me do something every once in a while. So worked my way into where I was actually a lead carpenter on a crew and joined the Marine Corps. Spent 4 years in the Marine Corps. I'm a Gulf War veteran. Came home from that, finished up undergrad, went to work for a builder as sort of a project manager. Eventually worked my way into a situation where I was division president of a couple different companies, and eventually went on to work for a large publicly traded home building company where I ran a couple divisions for them, and been in business for myself, building homes, developing subdivisions for the last 20 years. So it's been a great career, been a great field for me. I feel blessed every day to have the opportunities that I have. Harbor Homes is a fairly young company in a sense that we've been in business a little over 2 years, and it was really a business idea that was a reaction to the marketplace. And I think anybody who's been in the market for a new home has looked at the market in the last couple of years and sometimes is a little taken back by the increase in prices. And much of that is driven by the land side of it, but a lot of it's driven by the construction side as well. But what that meant for Harbor Homes is it meant it was an opportunity, right? An opportunity to bring in a more affordable product to the marketplace. And we're going to talk about, I guess, how we achieved that. But at the end of the day, the business was hatched in really a reaction to the market and a lack of product available in what I would consider to be affordable price points. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things that we're doing at Harbor that's really different than what competitors are doing or able to do out there. At the end of the day, we have created really an efficient home building business that, more importantly, has affordability and customer sort of choice built into it. Really, what we have right now is just under 20 standard floor plans. But with those floor plans, we have anywhere from 20 to 50 different pre-priced options. So ways for people to really personalize their house and make it what they want it to be. But it doesn't come with the added expense of complete custom type situation. I mean, anybody, again, who's looked at building a house and looked at building a complete custom house knows that to some extent, it's a fairly expensive endeavor sometimes. And that's driven by a lot of different things. But the first thing it's driven by is the amount of resources that are involved in trying to build a custom house. From Harbor's perspective, we have just taken what's efficient in other types of businesses, whether it's automobile business or whatever, and we're saying we're using the best of those businesses and trying to apply those manufacturing principles to home building. And that really is the way that we provide customers the ability to personalize their homes. We will do a number of things for you. We will simplify the home building process. We will make it predictable without surprises, and we'll do it in a manner that's affordable. So it's an integral part of our business strategy, and it's something that we talk about on a daily basis. People are reevaluating their priorities and reevaluating their home choices. So the more time you spend at home, working from home, having the kids home, if the kids are being virtual learning from home, like all the things that were sort of important to you, like a proper space for the kids to be, maybe a finished basement, certainly a home office, like all those things that would have been nice to have yesterday are all of a sudden necessary. They're needs now, they're not wants, right? So people have used this opportunity with the incredibly low interest rates to, like I said, reevaluate their priorities. And we're finding that people are making purchase decisions at a greater pace than they were even pre-COVID.
How are you guys navigating customers that want to get into a home, but are afraid or they can't physically go out to your showrooms or physically go out to the model homes like they did before? Like, how are you guys adapting to that, or how did you adapt to it?
So from a customer perspective, and probably most importantly, there's a couple things that we've been working on that are really unique and cutting edge. The big one is, which is active on our website right now, is if you want to buy a house from us and do it completely virtually, you can basically go to our website. You can find a house you want. You can click on the buy now button. You can consummate the entire deal online. You can sign contract documents. You can make a deposit and legally consummate the deal right online. That is something that's pretty unique for home builders. It tends to be, the real estate business tends to be a little more old school in a sense that, you're faxing documents back and forth still and signatures and tracking things down. So we're pretty proud of that and we're pretty jazzed up about that. And we have had customers utilize that already, and it's been sort of live just for a couple months. So that's one really big piece. The second piece that is the piece that's really the future for us, and in my mind, I think it's the future of where the entire business is headed. I just don't think some people realize it yet. But you will be able to go to our website at harborhomeswi.com, and you will be able to pick your floor plan, pick your lot, pick the options you want to add to your house. 3-car garage, a dinette bump out, the list goes on. The deluxe master bath, and puts in a bigger shower and all kinds of stuff. You can do all of that. Have the actual plan rendered inside our system, so you'll get a 3D rendering of the floor plan that you picked, the changes you made to it. Have the house rendered with the exterior colors that you picked. Pretty much everything. Also have all the specific lot data. Like, in other words, if you picked a lot in one of our subdivisions that has exposure, or 8-foot exposure where you have a walkout basement, or 4-foot exposure where you have half exposure, or like what we call sort of a daylight exposure type situation, like those are all custom pieces that have to go into this sort of this cake that we're baking. All of this will be available. You can go through, pick it all, price it out, save it, and then more importantly, you can click buy now.
There are different types of customers and buyers out there. Who is the ideal customer for you in this initiative?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, really, it's kind of funny because I have to admit, I'd like to take credit for, making this all happen. To be honest with you, the real impetus and the urgency behind getting this done was COVID. And as you had indicated before, Ruben, like when you talk about Amazon, I mean, I think that the buying experience for the younger cohort, 25 to 40, let's say, sort of that millennial, like they expect this stuff. And it's not something that I wouldn't expect that buyer to look at my website and be like really impressed by it. I would expect that they would look at my website and go, oh, I kind of expected this. This is the way it should be. And I think they're within their right to look at things that way because, as you said, whether it's Amazon or any other retailer out there or automobile manufacturer out there, you can go to any automobile manufacturer there and build your own car online and order it to the dealership. Many people do that, but you have the ability to do that. And in our business, we haven't had that for a long time. So I do think that there's a big part of the U.S. demographics that are driving this that I think fit well with the buyers that we're looking at. To answer your question more specifically, we have, I think the millennial buyers are our number one, buyer demographic. Although we do still do quite a bit of business with the baby boomers. But for the most part, let's face it, this millennial demographic is a huge demographic in numbers, and they're successful, they're educated, they're demanding, and they know what they want, and they want to do research. So we have to put a platform out there that will provide them the opportunity to interface with our business the way they want to.
Wonderful. What is next for Harbor Homes?
So there's endless opportunities for us. We just need to continually adapt and change and improve our business model to better serve the customers that we ultimately want.
Scott, how would people or customers get in touch with you? What's the best way here?
Yeah, I mean, really the best way is Harbor Homes. That's just common spelling. HarborHomesWI.com. Our website has a giant amount of resources, and you can spend a lot of time there. It's fairly sticky, as they say. In other words, we've got it built so that you can build a house online, you can change exterior colors, you can go there and really have fun and really start to limit your search. Think about what it is that's important to you in floor plans. Think about what's important to you in a particular lot. You can look at the subdivision plans, where lots have exposure, some in the cul-de-sacs. You can really do a lot on our website, and HarborHomesWI.com is the place that I would tell everybody to look first.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for the time, Scott.
Yeah, thanks, Ruben. It was a pleasure.